Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Morning Tea. Today's tea is green tea from Trader Joe's. I think that it will be green tea from Trader Joe's for at least another month. I bought a giant box of it and I'm also trying to be better and be more healthy. And part of that is drinking green tea, I guess. I'm also eating cereal from Trader Joe's, their version of Cheerios, the Honey Nut Cheerios. In this video, I want to talk about light girls. Probably will go off on some tangents. I apologize now. I've already filmed this video. I filmed it yesterday, but it's 20 minutes and I just can't have a 20-minute video. But if you do want to watch it, like, I guess I could make it unlisted and those of you who want to watch it could click the link. You let me know if you want to watch it, and in my next video I will put it in the description box so you can click on the link and you can watch it if you want to watch it. So I watched Light Girls. Some of my first impressions of the movie just off the bat, they interviewed a lot of comedians and actresses and older people. They didn't interview enough academia people. They didn't interview enough people who had something that wasn't emotional to talk about. A lot of the women were older, maybe in their 40s to 50s, and I mean there were some that were young, but most of them were older, and they were just talking about the emotional aspect of being light-skinned and what that meant to them. To me, Soledad Bryan was the most honest and the most poignant with what she was saying, and she didn't even say a lot. She basically said that, you know, there were benefits for her, that, you know, she was accepted in her field of journalism and easier, and that all the other women of color or black women that she worked with were her skin tone. And Soledad O'Brien, I believe, is biracial, and she considers herself as a black woman. But also there's an interesting thing happening where they interviewed some women who are biracial, and it's been brought to my attention that biracial people, at least maybe the latter generation, the millennials of biracial children, don't want to consider themselves black. They want to consider themselves both. And I'm specifically talking about biracials who are black and white. I've met a couple of half black, half white biracials who do not want to consider themselves black because they feel like they would be denying the white side of their family. And I'm still like having to like take that in and be like, okay, that's how these people want to identify, like that's okay. Because in the beginning I was a little hurt. Like I was a little bit like, why don't you want to consider yourself black? Like what's your problem being black? Like, you know, and it's not my place to like want them to answer those questions. Like if that's how they feel, that's how they feel, and I should absolutely respect that. You know, those are just the people that I've actually talked to who told me that they don't feel black, and I was like, well, you do. Like feeling black isn't a specific feeling. It's if you are black, you do feel black. And then they talked to men about it and how they feel about light-skinned women, and how light-skinned women are a trophy, and light-skinned women, they're not as fussy as dark-skinned women, and light-skinned women are more beautiful, or they feel like, you know, if you got a pretty light-skinned girl, then you've made it. Like, you know, ideas like that. And then, like I said, they spoke to just a lot of hurt women who have had things happen to them because of their light skin. So some of the things that I think suck, or, you know, are like, I feel I've hurt for these lighter skinned women, is the women who got beat up on a daily basis by the darker skinned girls for being light skinned. The women who were threatened, who were cut, who were threatened to have their hair chopped off because they thought they were so cute. And they got a lot of anger from dark-skinned women. But then there was a lot of things that were the same that I don't feel like is a light-skin experience. I feel like is an experience that women experience. So some of the things that I thought were the same were the street harassment. They talked about that. They said, oh, you know, when I'm walking down the street and I don't acknowledge a car full of black men, they get mad and they, you know, they throw stuff at me. And I'm like, that happens to dark-skinned women too. Like, men are animals. The rape and molestation, one woman was saying that she felt that because she was light-skinned, she was sexualized at an early age, and that she was harassed and molested by family members because of her light-skinnedness. And I don't think that's because of her light-skinnedness. I think that it happens in every family. The fetishism, the skin fetishism bit about how men only want to date them because they're light-skinned, and those issues happen in the darker skin too, because I get a lot of men who only want to date me because I'm dark skinned, and it's just all this craziness that doesn't make any sense, because there are light-skinned people who I see every day aren't good looking or who aren't attractive to me or whatever, but your relative attractiveness or prettiness has nothing to do with your skin color. And the fact that someone could be looked at, and the fact that a light-skinned woman, just purely based on being light-skinned, can be put in the pretty category is is a complete advantage. And they didn't talk about those things. I feel like Soledad O'Brien was the only person who acknowledged her advantage and the benefits of being light-skinned, but all the rest of the women were having like huge hurt problems that to me weren't just a light-skinned issue, were an issue of being a woman and maybe the Black community and what that is. And there's clearly a lot of colorism in Black men too, which they didn't talk about either. My personal experience, I find that light-skinned men like think that they are so fly. Like when a light-skinned man usually comes up to me, it's usually like real smooth and like that I'm supposed to like him and like be excited that he's talking to me. And I'm usually like, and it's not because he's light-skinned, it's just because of the way he's coming up to me. But that's been my experience. And I mean, I get that sometimes from darker men too, but not as much. Like I feel like there's a certain like ease of like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. Like, but you know, again, that's my experience. And I'm not saying that happens with light-skinned men across the board, but there is, you know, I'm gonna let my brother talk about it. I have an experience from my brother that when he started dating a lighter skinned woman and that she was super pretty, like a super pretty, tall, light skinned woman, that he got a lot of animosity from his lighter skinned friends or from men he just saw on the street when they were out together. So I'm gonna cut to that and let him tell you a little bit about that, and then I'll be back.
I wasn't saying that I made it because I had me a light skinned girl. To be honest with you, light skinned girls have been liking me since forever. Dark-skinned girls is like a new thing. Now dark-skinned girls want to be cool. They want to be in love now. But the light-skinned girls, they was the one that's always been. What I was saying was how people gave me some sense of entitlement. Okay, I knew she was pretty, but it's like there was no other kind of reaction that I would get from niggas in particularly. Either they would be like, damn, your girl look good, where her friends at? Or they would just be mad at me like, you're not supposed to be with her. Like, certain light-skinned niggas would be like that. They'd be like, some of them will be real cool, or they'd be like kind of like what she's seeing you. Like, I never had, like, so many, like, people you know on Instagram, like, will direct message your girl. And, like, and this is not because I think, it's because she would show me, like, oh, he just direct messaged me, like, why you fucking with that nigga? Fuck with a real nigga. Like, type, you know what I'm saying? I never got so much animosity towards me until I dated light-skinned girl like she was. I dated a bunch of light-skinned girls, but she was like, you know, another, you know what I mean? And that was, niggas was mad.
Yeah, they were mad? Like, how are you going to be mad? It's ludicrous that you can be mad at someone because their girlfriend is light and pretty and you don't think that he should have that kind of girl. So there's a lot going on in the male gender as far as light-skinned, dark-skinned going. I think it might be a little bit more active and a little bit more, there might be a little bit more prejudices within the men. I tag a lot of my videos dark skin, team dark skin, and all that jazz. And I do that because I know I want my videos to get out there. I want people, women who are dark skinned, to see my videos and to get confidence. And I want this to be a safe place, a safe channel for dark skin and a celebration of dark skin. That's why I tag all my things dark skin. That's why the name is Dark Skin Divas. Not because I want to separate myself from light skin, or I want light-skinned people to feel bad, or because I want to, you know, make some sort of bold statement about being dark-skinned. I'm doing it to get people's attention. And I feel like there's been a little bit of a criticism too that I've gotten from people that I know that are like, why is it dark-skinned divas? Like, do you only do makeup for dark-skinned women? And I'm like, well, I'm dark-skinned, so I want the word to be out there to know that this is a channel that caters to dark skin. I want to help the girls who are scared of lipstick. I want to help the girls who are scared of pink makeup. I want the girls who are scared of purple, who are scared of gold. Men going on there just, oh, the men, God. There were so many men saying stupid things that just, it's like, it's almost like I feel like it isn't dark girls versus light girls. It's black men. Like, it's black men just being stupid and pitting us against each other. Because most of the, I mean, there was one guy on there who was like, oh, if you got a light-skinned girl, that means you made it. Like, stop it. Stop saying it like that. Stop perpetuating this idea that being light-skinned is like this holy grail. I need for black men to get on board and stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Or I need for black men to stop fetishizing skin tones. Like, stop that. You know, stop fetishizing skin tone. It has nothing to, their personality or the content of their character has nothing to do with their skin tone. I mean, maybe there are some issues where there's some times where some women do feel a certain way about things because of the way they've been treated because of their skin tone. But if we ignore that, if we let that go, then we can heal as a culture and move forward. Oh, they had Raven Simone on there. I feel like they had her on there before she did her interview with Oprah, because they would have known that she doesn't want to consider herself, she considers herself to be American, and we should respect that. And they talked about albinism for a second. There was a girl who was albino. Now her situation really sucks because she's born without any melanin, and you know, to be shunned like that is crazy. I guess the issue is I guess the deal is if you're too light, you're made fun of. If you're too dark, you're made fun of. So the best position to be is in the middle. But I never made fun of anybody lighter and was envious of anybody light or thought that light girls were prettier than me just because they were light. I knew that other people thought that they were prettier than me because they were light. Like, that's what I knew. I never was like, oh, she's prettier than me. I was always like, no, it's not that she's prettier than me, it's that she's light skinned, and so she will be prettier to people than I am. And that was one of the things, like, you know, that I said in a very early video, that I was always like worried that people weren't going to be able to see me because all they would see was darkness first, or my dark skin first. They wouldn't be able to like look past that. And I'm somebody who can look past that. I've always been able to because I have eyeballs and I use them. Yeah, you can check out the documentary if you want to, but otherwise, I mean, you don't really need to. There's a lot of just not funny comedians talking about things. And this one comedian woman was like, oh, I guess, you know, when we entered a club, like, all the dudes come to me because I'm pretty and light-skinned with good hair. And I was just like, what? That's so rude. And Tatiana Ali was on it. Like, are you light-skinned? What is happening? You know, I don't know. You know, to me, light skin is, like, fair. And, like, there's medium tone, and then there's dark skin. But as a whole other issue, and people are going to fight me about it and tell me that, you know, people can identify as they want to identify, and who am I? I'm not the dark skin police, and okay, girl. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.